go grind. That's a cool team, though. So anyway, Herdier would be the ace. The rest of the team would be Dunsparce, Kangaskhan, Dodrio. Other cool normals. Probably a Ditto. I think I would give it Infiltrator, although that would maybe only be in the rematch. Yeah, I don't know what my ace would be the second time, because I really like Herdier. But there is no way you could have that be a functional ace in the late game. Although I did cheese out a bunch of my friends with a level 100 Herdier once. No, I really don't like Stoutland. I think it ruins that evolution chain. I actually have a level 100 Herdier. Actually, I think I have 3 level 100 Herdiers. Because I have a habit of picking them up and bringing them along. Because, Lillipup and Herdier are two of my favorite designed Pokemon. And Stoutland just looks dumb for me. Okay. Yeah, that was, I originally started as a joke, because I wasn't a huge fan of the Gen 5 starters. They're not the worst thing, but they just didn't, click with me. Mostly because I didn't like any of their final forms. Superior just seemed kind of underwhelming. Emboar, which I never remember is actually its name, was kind of questionable. And then, Samurott just looked weird. But I got a Lillipup and was just this is my starter now. And then I got into a Herdier and then saw Stoutland and I'm I'm not really a big fan of Stoutland. He's pretty silly looking. And one of my friends was like, but he's so good statistically. He's a pretty good Pokemon. And I'm like, well, yeah, he looks dumb though. And he's like, I think he's the best. And I'm like, no, screw you. I'm gonna keep my Herdier a Herdier. I think I actually kept him a Lillipup until level 45, and then Herdier at until 100. And we would have a battle. And I had nicknamed him Winston, Slayer of Dragons, Killer of Kings. And he actually managed to take down a Tyranitar because he had Eviolite, which raises your defense if you're not fully evolved, and Reversal, which is that fighting type move that does more damage the lower health you have. So the Tyranitar Giga impacted on him, and then Winston just 1-2 with Reversal and killed him. Dude, Bastiodon is the best fossil. He's just so good. Okay. So, since I only have 4 Pokemon, I'm going to grind these guys up to level 15. There isn't really any creature in here that can get me as a threat. So I'm just going to turn on an experience multiplier so that I don't have to spend literal ages here. Really? I mean, I've seen a lot of people be meh on him, but I very rarely see people be like, nah, screw Bastiodon. Not the way that people get salty about, like, Dunsparce, or the fact that I refuse to evolve my Herdier. I could sort of see where he gets that opinion. Like, I don't agree, like, at all, because he's great. But, like, if you think about it, the fossils have been kind of amazing. Like, there have only been a couple of bad fossils. Which ones they are depends on who you are. But, like, personally, the only... Yo, Riolu? I didn't even know they lived here. The only fossil that I think is, like, actually bad was... What's it even called? The Leap? Like, the one that's... The grass rock? Was not a fan of that one. And even that, like, I acknowledge that it is, like, a cool idea and that a lot of people might like it. And it's statistically good because Storm Drain's terrifying. But, like... Growth. Maybe. Better than Lair. Got a shiny Bastiodon? That's exciting. Did you keep it or did you wonder trade it since you were hatching them for that? That's pretty lucky. I don't think I've ever successfully gotten a shiny on purpose. I've been incredibly lucky just from, like, running into them in the wild. But, gross. But, in any of the, like, grinding things, or, like, I tried, fishing chaining once. And that just... No luck. I got like 110 deep and didn't find anything, and I'm like, I don't have the patience for this. Caracosta and Crobat? That's a weird team. I like it, but it's real weird. I could see it having a bit of an issue with some certain types. You got 3 fossils. Fair enough. One of my friends just, like, breeds Pokemon, like, as, like, a meditative thing. Like, when he's doing something else, he'll just also be breeding Pokemon. At least he used to. And, at one point, he heard me say that I thought that, Zoroark had, like, the coolest shiny. Which I don't know if I necessarily stand by, but I really do like that shiny. Like, it's cool. And so... At one point, he went like 150 eggs deep, just because, like, he had nothing else to do. And, made me a shiny Zorua, and that was super great. Shout out to Tom. Oh yeah, definitely. It takes forever. I didn't realize what move he was using, and for a second I thought my game was bugged. Just because it was making my dude do the little flickers. Okay, yeah, no, that's a good way to, I can't really do full type charts in my head right now, but that seems like it covers some good stuff. Like, the only thing that I would say you might be a little soft to is fighting type. Or, like, a non-fighting type that is a fighting move, because those are pretty common. Because, like, yeah, Crobat can, like, just take out your random fighters, but, like... some random special attacker with Focus Blast could be a problem for you. I am, how do I put this, hesitantly optimistic about Ultra Sun and Moon. I'm usually kind of meh on, like, third entries. Like, Emerald and Crystal weren't really my jam. But Black and White 2 knocked it out of the park. It was amazing. And it seems like Sun and Moon are, like, leaning on it. Like, that they're sort of, like, following the same cues that Black and White 2 did. So, if they're going down that path, I'm excited. In which games? Like Sun and Moon? Or Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon? Or this? Because I know this has, like, all the Pokemon. I don't know why. I legitimately think Black and White 2 are the best Pokemon game. And I don't think it's close. Oh, for people who are watching the VOD, person in the chat said that Black and White 2 are apparently the most hated in the franchise. And I'm like, that seems silly. I guess that's the only way to describe it. Yo, Houndour? I didn't know you lived here. That's cool. Oh no, my team is too nervous to eat berries. Huh. That's cool. I did not know that Sun and Moon had that many more Pokemon. Or Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. That's exciting. That was one of my favorite things about this. About Black and White 2. That it just made this for this huge diversity in areas. And this just dialed it up to 11 because, like, it added in everything else. Oh, cool. I do like that there are new Ultra Beasts, although I never really did all that much with them the first time. I would appreciate no further spoilers, though, because, like, I don't necessarily want to know all that much about it. No hard feelings, though. Like, that I'm glad I've heard what you said, because that definitely, assuaged some doubts. Like, I had been kind of iffy on getting the game, and you're definitely selling me on it. Alright, Frisbee, you're almost 15. Let's wrap this up. It's totally cool, so, person. I'm hyped. And, who knows, maybe, someone listening, because this VOD's going up on YouTube after we're done here. I'm gonna, like, try and cut it, maybe turn some of the grinding into, like, a montage, but maybe people there will be psyched to hear that Sun and Moon have over 400 additional Pokemon. I mean, won't it really come down to where they are in the game? Like, I mean, you'll put them on the final team, obviously, but, like... Ooh. I don't think I ever use Hypnosis. The accuracy's too low. That's a weird one to exclude. Like, just that the Venipede line isn't in there. But then again, I guess a lot of Pokemon aren't. Oh, not the right button, but whatever. It's weird to think about how many Pokemon aren't in any given game, because it always seems like there's so many. Hey there, Brick Monster! Welcome to the channel. So yeah, we are pretty much grinding right now because we've got some time to kill. But we've lost a couple people along the way, so we're trying to avoid that for the fight with Roxanne. Huh, I didn't know that Hawaii was known for centipedes. That's really creepy. So what's up, Brick? How you doing on this bright and beautiful evening, I guess? It's weird to think about, like, the amount of centipedes in any given area. That is, not a topic I've ever given much thought, to be honest. Oh. Apparently, that's a huge range. Like, an inch to a foot long? Because, like, I can see, like, oh yeah, no, there's a centipede. They go from, like, 8 to 11 inches. Like, it's not the size that's throwing me. It's the fact that it can be from size 1 to size 2, which is 12 times size 1. That's... God, can you imagine if it was, like... If anything else was like that? It's like crocodiles can be from 3 to 36 feet. The German Shepherd can be from 60 to 720 pounds. Rattled is not a good ability. That is the range of how big they get, like an inch long, 2 inches long, etc. Well, no, I get that, but like, are there fully grown centipedes that are 1 inch long? Or is it that they all end up at a foot long and they just need to go through that process? There was a long delay, so I don't actually know which one you're saying yeah to. Okay. So there are centipedes that are an inch long, full grown. So yeah, that's crazy, is what I'm saying. Like there is such a huge range of differences that like there is a size to 12 times that size, and like how that would be wacky in like any other animal that like wasn't a bug. I mean, it's pretty wacky for the bug too, but like can you imagine if people were like that? If the range of, like, heights of people you knew was, like, from 3 feet tall to 36 feet tall? Basketball would be a very different sport. Ooh, roar. I think I'd probably use that more than howl, so... I mean, centipedes are not as bad as... Wait, no. Are millipedes the ones that are all, like, weebly? Or are they the ones that are, like, a single bar? Because, like, I'm okay with the ones that, like, roll up into a ball. Or, like, that look like that. The ones that are, like, just wispy and all legs, those are creepy. No, I get that there is a range of people, but, like, can you imagine bringing that to the extreme of these bugs? Like, it's one thing where it's like, oh, yeah, no, I have a friend that's 4 feet tall, and I have a friend that's, like, 7 feet tall. But, like, even those are both, like, outliers. But to have, like, oh, yeah, I have a friend that's, like, 3 feet tall, and a friend that's 36 feet tall. Friend A comes up to friend B's ankles. Oh, yeah, I don't know if I would want to deal with a foot-long centipede. Foot-long millipede, no big deal, I think. Gotcha, so they're creepy and eat things. Joy. One sec, I'm gonna look this up just to make sure. Yeah, the centipedes are the creepy ones. Not a fan of centipedes. I don't know if that's really a fun fact. I appreciate it regardless, though. Well, I mean, like... Are you sure not to people, or just not particularly venomous to people? This is taking forever. Ah. Well, today I learned centipedes are the worst creature. Yeah, no, I know that they're not all venomous. or stuff. I don't know. It's Are house centipedes the kind that are around in the U.S.? Because, like, we do get them, and that's what I think of when I think of a centipede. Like, the creepy, like, almost look like they just have, like, fluff for legs or hair, and they're gross. They're gross animals. Ah, okay, not those, then. Dial this up a little. Boop. Actually, no, maybe that is the right kind. Says your palm. Yeah, no, I've seen them before. They're not. Okay, yeah, that's the kind we have here. That when you say centipede, that's what I'm thinking. I'm not gonna click that, thanks. I probably won't use Bide. It's a little smaller, right? Like, but not a ton smaller. Or or have you made a mistake and this is actually a much larger creature? In which case, that's probably not the ones that live here. Hi, Ninja Kitty. Welcome. Almost your face in size. Okay, yeah, that is not a thing here. Anyway, welcome to the channel, Ninja Kitty. This is Person, or Person Dynamo. They are, they're new, but they seem to enjoy centipedes. We're, talking about... How did we even get on this topic? I guess, like, Pokemon? We were talking about how Alola didn't have Venipedes. But we're almost, we're probably not going to go a whole lot longer. I'm almost done grinding, and then we're going to go take on a secondary gym leader, and then we'll probably wrap up for the night. Oh, you're making a Pokemon fan game? What's the premise? Also, Ninja Kitty, what's up? How you been? Did you just forget it or is something up? You doing okay? Sure. All right. Actually, here, let me finish this just a little bit to get everything set up, and then I will do a summary right before I go fight. Oh well, I hope it went well. I hope your project turns out okay. Exciting. Well, if it's something you publish... Oh, no, it's a that kind of project. Yikes! Alright, well, good luck. Is it finished now? Or am I distracting you from your project? Pokemon Space and Time. Take on the role of a scientist's center daughter. An evil team has found out how to travel through time, and you must stop them. Huh. That sounds fun. Time travel's always wacky. But, I mean, there's definitely potential there. That'd be interesting. What gen engine is it based on? And are there original Pokemon? Or are they, is it based on a particular generation? Understandable. But what are you gonna do about the project? Just gonna make do and take the late grade? That's understandable. If you've got a good teacher, then that's probably not that bad. Nice. Alright, cool. Turn this off now. In ancient Egypt equivalent in the Hondoland region, there will be mainly ground rock normal types. In medieval, there will be steel, fire, dragon, fairy, dark normal, far future, steel and electric. Interesting, the sprites just started a few days ago. That's cool. Just for variants, you might want to consider putting poison in the far future. Okay, but like the baseline's done, you're just like kind of messing around with the details. I feel like we tried to do too much and ran out of time is a pretty good excuse. Like your teacher's not going to be too mad that you tried too hard. Starter, grass psychic, fire fairy, water bug. Those are some weird ones. I like it. I like it a lot, but it's strange. Alright. Let's update the overlay just to move the two people over. Grass starters. Ooh. I'm not sure I like that. It's super weird to move away from a dual type. If you do that, you probably want to make sure that that's advertised prominently. Because if I find out that there's a grass psychic type or a fire fairy type, I'm going to be psyched and then grab it. And then if it switches... So just a heads up. But hey, I mean, you do you, you know? Boop, boop. Boop. Okay. Alright, I'm gonna do the recap. So, I'm probably gonna not talk about these ongoing conversations just because last stream I asked and said they would take the water bug type instead of wasn't water. Fair enough. Yeah, no, I mean, it's a cool concept as long as it's clear. Like, I just feel like people would be, like, kind of peeved that they picked one thing and then got another if that wasn't something they knew about. Like, oh, that's cool. I mean, like, honestly, those all sound like cool Pokemon. Both the befores and afters are great. It's just kind of, like, fuzzy that they, changed so drastically, especially because the fire starter drops its primary type. which is weird. Like, that means that there's no way to have the fire type stay a fire type. Like, to get a fire Pokemon all the way through. But, I mean, again, it's a choice. Just make sure that you're giving it some thought. But, I mean, I believe in your abilities to design something cool, so. Alright. Anyway, good luck with that. Recap.